swimming the forbidden zone. They were captured by the shrewdness of apes. But what the hell is the shrewdness of apes? And why is Taylor wearing a man frock and saying city looks like Fraggle Rock? Did the Chambers, did the Imps, or Mr. Spock? These are just the facts we try not to mock on. The minute of the apes. 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 Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Minute of the Apes, the daily podcast where we break down every minute of the Planet of the Apes 1 minute at a time, and we also duck when the air conditioner comes on.
Seriously, a plane just landed on the ceiling.
I am your host, Todd. Across from me is Richard. Is that what it? Oh, it is. It's Richard today, and you know what?
Or Ron.
It's Richard and Sean.
And Sean.
You're and Sean today.
Okay.
Are you
Hello,
okay being
Sean.
and Sean?
Hey, Richard.
How are you?
All right.
You know, they actually do like each other. You may hear it on the end that they don't, but they like each other okay. So we're up to minute 53 through 54. And it begins with Dr. Maximus saying that no animals outside the compound without a leash are allowed, and ends with the lieutenant saying that they're going to take number 4 over to surgery in 5 minutes. Sean, give us your tally.
2 living humans, 2 dead humans, a shrewdness of apes, and a gaggle of humanoids.
So, right off the top, and as we prepped for this minute, Richard is over there salivating because he says we have a lot to talk about, and he has that script in front of us, and we do. We've already talked about how Taylor is not acting the way you think he should. Did anyone notice off the top of the minute he is so subservient in this? His eyes are downward cast. Has he become so dejected that no one's listening to either his scribblings, his paper airplanes, or his hand signals that he's done? He's given up hope.
Or maybe it's he's been beaten up by these apes before, so he knows he can't necessarily take them. So
he's
no
a dog
reason
that's
to
got swatted on the nose.
Yeah, so he knows to back down whenever he's outnumbered, 6-1.
I just found it.
He has an opportunity with Zira and Cornelius to convince them that his reality is real, and when he sees Dr. Zaius, he knows that it's over.
Happen.
And it's not going to happen. He's going right back to his cell.
Right.
He had a glimpse of freedom, and now it's not going to happen.
And then he also sees everything literally crushed when Zaius crumples the airplane and tosses it to the ground.
That's the most dramatic crumpling of an airplane. That's
just
pushing and just...
It's almost a Shakespearean crumpling of a plane, if there could be such a thing.
Uh-huh.
But that goes back to what you said a few minutes back about Zaius. This is becoming more true and more true with every moment with this character. He knows something.
Right.
He knows that means something. So he doesn't. I take it. He really does not know what a paper airplane is. However, he knows because he knows something's going on in this world that he's protecting.
So for people that are coming into this minute, we have a situation where Taylor's been explaining to Cornelius, who's a little bit kind of hesitant to believe any of this because of religion or society or whatever. We have Zira, who's eager for all of this, and we have Zaius and Maximus and 2 guards coming in, and the dialogue unfolds between Zira and Maximus, basically explaining the situation, and then Zira, as if some part of proof, points out the paper airplane. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Zaius sees the paper airplane and asks what it is.
Right.
And Zira says it's a toy, it floats in the air, try it. And then we get this moment where Cornelius crushes the paper airplane. So if you're wondering where
crushes the paper airplane.
If you're wondering where the paper airplane moment comes from, it's kind of most of the way through this minute where Zaius is kind of just crushing all of the hopes and dreams that just happened in the last few minutes. We're going to shut this down.
He wants nothing to do with what they're discussing. He wants nothing to do with this dirty human. And that's because not only what he knows, but what he saw written in the dirt.
So we had a question earlier. We had a question earlier about who these people were. Would they follow Zaius around all the time? And so Maximus says, no animals outside the compound, and most certainly not without a leash, after saying, you know the rules. And Zira's like, sir, this is a very special case. It's a special creature, Maximus. Why special? We're conducting, and this is the first time I've seen in the script where she pauses. We're conducting a new experiment. So she's clearly trying to come up with something on the fly to explain why Taylor is there.
Mm-hmm.
And Zaius says, wouldn't it be more properly done in your office?
So is this Cornelius'
This is Cornelius' office.
Right.
Wouldn't it be more properly done in your office? Because she
Right.
is the animal psychologist, not the archaeologist. Then Zira agrees, yes, sir. And then Maximus, not Zaius, Maximus calling guards. So when there was a question earlier about whether police force follows around Zaius, Maximus specifically says guards.
Right.
So there's our first sense that these people were brought.
True.
Instead of
Officers,
Right.
they're guards.
royal. Well, I guess you could say royal guards. I mean, maybe
Is it possible that
if we're going to Star Trek, maybe, or Star Wars? We're going to Star Wars. You know, the royal guards.
Did you say
Right.
Star Trek?
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
Oh, God. That's a nerd point taken away from you.
Well, we were talking about Green Lantern and Planet of the Apes, and there's Green Lantern and Star Trek, and so I just
At this point, we're just going to act like you didn't say that. We like you way too much for that.
So he says guards.
Yes.
So they may be guarding Zaius or Maximus, but guards is very, very specific, like they were brought in.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it possible that it isn't just Zaius that knows what's going on in this world? Could it be the orangutans, which are that upper
Seemed like
branch?
the upper echelon, yeah.
Could he have gone so far as to the reason that he called Maximus to have that meeting we suppose he might have had to say this
We need
human
to
was
stop
writing. We have to shut this down. Could it be that all of them are acting together?
Oh, we can't talk about future minutes. We can't talk about future
Yeah,
minutes.
there are no future minutes. I don't know what you're talking about.
This
Now, keep
world
it-
is existing 1 minute at a time.
No, for Sean,
Yes.
this world is existing 1 minute at a time. He does not know what is happening going forward, outside of some maybe things that were major plot points that have been on the internet for years.
Yes.
But anyway, so
Which, again, Sean and I did have to subject whether we could remain friends for the simple fact that he has not seen one of the geekiest of geeky films in the whole world, but you have not.
No.
But, so you do have to look at this and start thinking. There aren't just conversations of, you might want to be aware of this, you might want something. It is almost like they are colluding to shut this down, is it not?
Right. It also tells us that there are conversations that are happening outside of this room that we're not a part.
Yeah.
We're not following as a viewer, following. This is the only thing that is happening in this room at this moment. Nothing else exists outside of it.
Right.
It's obvious that Zaius and Maximus have had some type of conversation, are coming into this moment,
Right.
and are kind of prepared. Maximus says, "Return this beast to the compound." So we now know how he feels about man.
Mm-hmm.
Return this beast to the compound, right?
Right.
I mean, he's already kind of denigrating Taylor, that he's just a creature.
Well, and then the moment that they take him out is that wonderful following handheld shot of him muzzled and pulled along with the camera. So it's not only the words, the treatment of him in this
Which
society.
he put up no fight against when
No,
he
he
put the
didn't.
muzzle on.
He
Right.
didn't. So the question is, do guards just carry muzzles around?
Maybe they do. But that would also beg the question, why? Because humans aren't allowed out of their cages. They wouldn't be in this situation unless maybe the way you're supposed to take a human from their cage to observation areas to
Muzzle
muzzle
them just to
them.
be safe. I mean, are these humans biters? I mean, we know that they're reaching out trying to get
Yeah, they're reachers.
candy and stuff, or sugar cubes, but have they ever actually attacked somebody?
I don't know.
Because whenever they're even out, there is some aggression because that one humanoid attacked Taylor in the cage
Right,
for whatever reason. So there are signs of aggression with him.
right.
I like the ape acting that Cornelius did after he kind of like said Zira, and then he just kind of wrinkles up his nose.
Yeah, that is the true Roddy McDowell mannerism that, to me, when you watch all these films, you're going to
He
see
makes that same face move over and over.
Even I want to say, and prove me incorrect when we get there, but when we get to Beneath the Planet of the Apes, the movie he's not in, I'm pretty sure that the actor that subs for him
does that
that wrinkle as well, so that it at least feels like him.
I did like the fact that whenever we now got a good shot at Zaius' feet, and you can see that they actually made his feet look like gorilla feet or orangutan feet, where they look like a hand inside, so it looks like a big hand down
We
there.
do get that.
Although
shot,
the gorilla guards have normal boots.
That's because they're a little more. I told you,
that's right. Horses.
Yeah.
and they're just a little more sophisticated in their fashion sense.
Ah.
They do like their nice boots. So there's a lot in there, and I don't want to jump ahead. I have a note that's kind of towards the end, and so if you don't have anything, I'm going to throw it out.
Okay, well, I just had...
you want to go to the next part where with the paper airplane, or we can go a little further?
No, let's go to the paper airplane. Take us there.
All right, so basically, we've got the situation where Maximus calls the guards over, return the beast to his compound. There's a little bit of kind of apprehension or nervousness on Taylor's part about this whole situation, but he doesn't do a lot of resisting. He doesn't try and get away. He does, that kind of like, no, okay, fine. They nuzzle him.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like they tie up his hands or anything.
No.
They nuzzle him.
Muzzle.
They
nuzzle
with him. Hey, baby.
He's got that tit exposed.
They did get a little excited that they don't want to be into bestiality, but they do like human tits.
Exactly. He's the animal commissioner, the commissioner of animal affairs.
Oh,
so
I'm going to commission this.
So he's led away. Right, we're left with the players in the room: Zero, Cornelius, and Zaius. And Zaius walks over and sees the paper airplane, picks it up, and asks, "What is this?"
Mm-hmm.
And Zira says it's a toy. So she's covering, she's masking, it's a toy. It's something simple. It floats on the air. The script description is faint defiance.
Oh. It's what?
Faint defiance.
Oh.
So she's getting sassy. She's like, try it. And Cornelius says to Zira a warning. It says a warning, Zira. But we move past that, and Zaius takes the paper plane, picks it up, crumples it.
Right. With two hands.
Drops it to the floor. Here is Zaius expressing his power. He says, nonsense. It is just him shutting down
any investigations, anything
proof that they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes me wonder. Outside of religion being the reason why you would suppress this information, and a religious organization being powerful, and you don't want to negate it because if the evolution of man is there, then the scrolls are not correct according to what Xeris told us.
Right.
Why else would he want to suppress it? In his here you can make arguments within Earth that religion is powerful enough because of the money that goes into it. I'm not trying to be blasphemous to anyone out there that believes it, but that argument can be had. Churches are so powerful that evolutionary theory threatens their standing, their congregations, etc. What is it here that's threatening him so much?
Yeah, because all the humans are mute.
They're
not
stupid.
Intelligent. They only know how to make bikinis and bottoms.
So you put a bullet in Taylor's head, and this problem's taken care of.
So we've got, I guess, in the fact that we're dealing with a paper airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Does Zaius recognize what it is?
He has to.
So he recognizes it as something that people cannot know about.
That apes now have never seen before, even a paper airplane.
It threatens leadership. It threatens society. Is Zaius trying to keep them stupid?
Even though it's old technology, the new always frightens people.
Could you not, though, if you're a leader? We've found the truth. We are truly better than humans. Look what they did to their world, and we have evolved from them. Can you not then make that argument? Say we're the higher. Now you get into a class system.
You're jumping a little ahead.
That is true.
You're jumping a little ahead.
That is true.
What is being threatened? What power structure is being threatened?
Is it Zaius' control? Is it Zaius' control? Is it religion's control? Is it destruction of what we know as society?
How does it? Yeah.
And again, does Zaius recognize what an airplane is, or is he just shutting down debate? This is foolish.
It is true. Does he just not want? I don't want this kind of talk.
He may not know what a paper airplane is. I mean, the way that it lingers makes you think that he knows. The fact that they intentionally wanted to let us like he's thinking about what this is before he kind of destroys it makes you want to think that he knows something more and bigger than. It
may not be that he knows what an airplane is, but he at least has the idea of what man
Taylor
is.
Communicating.
Possible, yeah.
That he at least knows that there is some history. There's probably some truth to what Cornelius is saying. Is it in his mind? He knows that.
Okay, so if we go back to a situation where we're dealing with race in America and this particular moment, and we're thinking about what Zaius is conducting, he is, or his position.